Record. Bam. Perfect. All right. So, guys, you know I love personal development. You know, personal development is key. It's definitely, and I think it's a tool that I think that people neglect in business, which is why, you know, when you've been in corporate America, so I was in corporate America for what, 10 years. And I know some of you are still working, and it's great, but personal development will get you further. I've seen people who personally develop, who grow in their companies, that grow, I mean, they get to the top of the you know, corporate America, they get successful in business and you know, marriage or whatever it is that you're doing, you have to develop, right? And I think that's one of the most neglected things. I think is people who want to self-develop, who want to get themselves better, because they want to just we in this society where we like to just do, we like to do, just do. But then if you don't really work on this, it really hurts you. And to be honest, if I could, in our business, it's mostly this, because it's not physically hard, right? You don't. What do we do? Sit in the AC, talk to people, talk to a few people, get a few customers, and they already your customer, right? So it's not physically hard. I mean, you know, there's other things that are hard. Construction is hard, right? Being in the hot sun, working hard, that stuff is hard. What we do is not physically hard. It's not challenging. What do we get? What's the worst we get? A no? Are you kidding me? A no? Like, okay, cool, be a customer. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not physically hard. So what it is mentally hard for people. And that's why they kick themselves out or lose themselves, because they mentally not there. So that's why I love personal development. Outside of that, you know, I love seeing y'all's faces. Even the ones who can't be on camera because they working right now. But you know, that's why I love it. So today, actually, it's something a little different. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be two videos. One of them is gonna be Stephen Covey. Covey, he's the you know, the author of, you haven't read it, the seven habits of highly successful people, or highly, you know, he got different versions of it, but you know, that's one of them. But it's effective habits of highly successful people or highly influential people, 7 habits. So I'm gonna go, it's just a short version of it. It's just an animated version, just to give you the 7 habits of highly effective people. But after that, I'm gonna do another video. And I think the video after that as well, I'm gonna go over is Dani Johnson. Dani Johnson, if you don't know Dani Johnson, I'm a big fan of Dani Johnson. Her teachings, what she stands for, is the main reason, and y'all gonna understand that too. It's the main reason by what she stands by, what she does. So let me go ahead, I'm gonna pull up the video. And the first one is only like 6 minutes, and it's Stephen Covey. It's the animated version, but let me pull up the video real quick. Let me know if y'all can see it. Everybody can see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys, well, let's go to the movies. Again, Stephen Covey, the 7 habits of highly influential people, habits. Let's go to it. Effective.
I remember my grandma's favorite story was about how everything cost 2 cents when she was young. But now everything constantly got more expensive. And it was all because of the government. These uneducated pigs didn't know how to control prices. And when I was privileged enough to hear the story, her complaining would last for hours and hours. And that's exactly what reactive people do. They always focus on the things that they cannot control. It's not possible that a concept like inflation would exist. And if it did, it's impossible that they wouldn't know about it. On the other hand, proactive people realize, look, even if my complaining were completely objective, it doesn't help me. So I'm going to focus on what I can control. If a proactive person owns a business where he sells a product, instead of focusing on how people these days don't appreciate good products anymore and how the government has horrible regulations, he focuses on How can I improve my product so my customers can't live without it? Do you realize how much responsibility, how much dedication, how much hard work comes along with asking that question? And what do you think our effort minimizing brain is going to pick as default? That is exactly why most people focus on the things that they cannot control rather than focusing on the things that they can. Habit number 1 is be proactive. Now, imagine you're at a funeral, but this one's different from all the funerals you've ever been to. You're standing over the casket and you see yourself. What do you have to say about yourself? This is one of the most powerful questions you could ask. Are you doing the things in your life which are aligned with what you want to be able to say? Do you want to say that you are a good spouse? If that's the case, how does coming home and instantly being negative towards your spouse affect that? Do you want to be remembered as a person who added value to society? If that's the case, are you doing the things that will allow you to say that, or are you scared of failure and choose comfortable mediocrity instead? Almost every one of us will have to readjust how we live when we ask this question. Habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. Now, if I were to ask you, what are the most important things to you? The most common answers I would get would be either your well-being or your relationships, your family, your spouse, your children. You would never ever say organizing papers or watching TV. But how many of us spend more time organizing papers and watching TV than planning our nutrition and going to the gym or cultivating a healthy family environment? There's a horrible disconnect between what we say and how we actually allocate our time. Habit number 3 is put first things first. Now, imagine you're an author and I'm an author, and we both write interesting books, and we both have access to an audience of about 100,000 people. I read your book and I love it, so I decide to share it with my audience, and as a result, you now have thousands of people buying your book and reading your ideas. You see this and think, who is this guy? Let me take a look at his book. You start reading my book and think I have ideas that are valuable, so you decide to share it with your audience. And as a result, I now have thousands of people buying my book and reading my ideas. Notice how different this is from my creating a little creepy Amazon account, finding your book and leaving a bad review, hoping that this will deter a few people from buying your book, which will in turn somehow get them to buy my book. Habit number 4 is think win-win. Stop thinking of everything as a zero-sum game. For you to win, another person does not have to lose. Something I want my viewers to do is to subscribe to my channel. But you will never hear me say, well, I worked really hard, guys. I dedicated so many hours to this. Please subscribe. Look, who cares if I worked hard? Who cares if I've spent days creating this video? The real questions are, does it offer value to you? And why should you dedicate your time to subscribing when you could be doing anything else that you want? Habit number 5 is something that I try to use every single day with every interaction that I have and with every comment that I reply to, and it is this: seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now, imagine there are 2 people and a tree with 5 apples on it. They're both too short to reach the apples, but if one of them sits on the other's shoulders, he can reach all 5 of the apples. This is called synergy. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Now, I'll be the first one to admit that you can't achieve this with everyone, but you should always be looking for opportunities to create synergy. With every synergistic opportunity you create, you can gather many more apples than you otherwise would by yourself. Habit number 6 is synergize. A man has been trying to cut down a tree for hours, and after a while his neighbor can't take it anymore, goes over and says, you know, if you sharpen the saw, you'll be able to cut it down faster. And the man replies, but sharpening the saw is going to take time. Now, we might laugh at this story, but we do the same thing all the time. We can't find 30 minutes a day, 4 times a week to go to the gym. Our health deteriorates to a point where we're physically incapable of being effective. We can't read a book for 15 minutes a day and mentally stimulate ourselves. No, these things take too much time. And then we have the audacity to ask for little tips and tricks on how to be effective. It's like telling your engineer, don't worry about the foundation. Where can we get the magic bricks that will float in the air. Habit number 7 is sharpen the saw. And these are the 7 habits of highly effective people by Stephen Covey.
All right. Now that's video number 1, guys. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open up video number 2. And like I said, just to kind of give you guys a snapshot on video number 2. Video number 2 is again with Danny Johnson. Now, Danny Johnson you're gonna quickly realize why I love Danny Johnson. Danny Johnson is one of those people that you're gonna hear her story, but it's no bull on her story, right? And the reason why I love Danny Johnson's story is because it's a story that's out of the ordinary for most people. But if you don't know her, she was on the show ABC Secret Millionaire. Some of y'all may have seen that show. She was on that show with Secret Millionaire, and also she was also in y'all remember that Undercover Boss show? She was on that too. Yeah, but the main thing I want, and regardless, it's gonna sound a little religious. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. But the reason why I chose this video is so y'all could really understand the core. Remember yesterday I talked to some of you and I was like, I don't understand people's thinking sometimes. It's because of my foundation and where it comes from. And if you see Danny Johnson and her foundation, regardless if you're a Christian or whatever, you understand the foundation of where she's getting that vigor, that strength, that fight, you know what I mean? So, and where she came from. So you got to know where somebody came from to understand where they're going and why they're the way they are. So I wanted to show this video so y'all could understand, even me as a leader, sometimes this is what I'm thinking so you can understand me. And then I can understand you guys when I understand where you come from, your philosophy and all of that. But I love Danny Johnson, man. She's incredible. Cody, I know you raised your hand. My bad. Let me unmute you real quick.
Real quick, I just want to ask, what was number 5 from that first video?
Number 5 was seek first to understand and then be understood.
Seek first to understand and then be understood.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm ready.
Okay. So let me pull up the second video. And again, it's Danny Johnson. We're not going to go through the whole thing. We're just going to go about 15 minutes in and then we're going to stop. Okay. So let me pull it up. Give me a second. Share screen. Boom, boom. There we go. All right. You guys all can see it? Everybody good? Okay, perfect.
Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at The Dove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us.
This is why I love my job, because I get to interview people like Danny Johnson. Danny was raised on welfare, pregnant at 17, homeless at 21, and a millionaire at 23. Years later, Danny continues to inspire people all over the world. And not only with her business message, but also with the life-changing message of Jesus Christ. And those two go hand in hand if you hear Danny, if you talk to her. So it's my honor, it's my privilege to welcome Danny.
Thanks so much for having me, Polina. It's an honor to be here with you.
Well, we are going to talk about the movie that you recently acted in, coming up. But first, I want to start with your story, because I think people need to hear it. How did you go from being homeless to making your first million?
Well, I had made a giant mess of my life, as so many other people do as well. For some reason, I thought I was the only one that was a mess, but I did. I made some really bad choices. Growing up in the home that I was raised in, I was emotionally abused. I was physically, violently abused, picked up and shoved up against walls by my neck. And my dad would just curse me every filthy, nasty, wicked word. I was called by the man that raised me. I was mentally abused, verbally abused, and also sexually abused from the time I was 3 until I was 16 when I moved out of the house. At 17, I was pregnant out of wedlock and judged by all of the wonderful religious people that were around me that didn't understand a lot of things nor know the truth about the pregnancy. And I walked away from God when I was 18. And I said, God, if I have to be like your people, I want nothing to do with you. Your people are awful. With a few other colorful words, Helena, that I'm sure have never graced your ears. But anyway, but yeah, I made some really bad choices. I ended up homeless at 21. And prior to being homeless, I had met and married a guy that I knew for only 7 days. And I had actually started a business when I was 19. I failed miserably. And then I had gone and I attended a lot of business training seminars given by a multimillionaire. And everything he said to do, I would do it. And in that next 6 months, I had a tremendous amount of success for me at that age. And then I lost everything. And I was a homeless woman. And from there, I had a horrible experience being homeless. I was sleeping around. I was doing drugs. And I had done a drug that I said I would never do, and that was cocaine. And that was on Christmas Eve of 1990. And that night, I can't tell you where I slept. All I remember is getting up the next morning at the beach where the extension of the party was, which was it was a beach party. And I went, Helena, person by person, asking for more cocaine. I even offered my body for another line of cocaine. Everyone looked at me like I was crazy. The bartender who had given it to me the night before shook my arms and said, what are you doing? Nobody else does this. I just gave that to you. And I said, I will do anything for more. She says, I'll let you know if I can find it. I got upset. I dove underneath a wave in the ocean. And I heard a voice tell me to pick up my mat and walk. And Helena, the desire for the cocaine left me instantly. It was gone. It was as though it almost never even entered me. Meaning it was, I wasn't thinking about it anymore, nothing. I rolled up my beach mat. I walked a mile to my car, drove 45 minutes to where I had been living, which was on a beach. And a conversation was going on inside of my spirit. The Lord, who I didn't know at the time was him, but it clearly was him, speaking to me saying, this is not what I intended for your life. Wow. It's time to step up, rise up and do something. The other side is saying, you loser, you failure, you're worthless, you're a drug addict, you're an alcoholic, you're almost becoming a prostitute. You're worthless. You're useless. No one will ever want you for all the evil things that you've done in your life. Just drive your car into the ocean and be done with this. You will never be able to trust anybody. You will never succeed at anything. This is what your life is. Your life is nothing but pain and turmoil, torment, and people will always fail you, and you will always fail them. There was that other voice telling me that was not true. And I listened to that other voice. And the next day, that same voice guided me to start a business from the trunk of my car in a payphone booth. My very first year, again, just totally walking by faith and following that voice and using the skill sets that I had learned the year before and just implementing simple little strategies. I made $250,000 my very first year. And by the end of my second year, $1 million. Now let's fast forward to where I am today. This is crazy, and it is not by the hand of man that this could happen. But I've made millions of dollars. I've been on the Oprah Winfrey Show. I was ABC's Secret Millionaire. God opened these doors. I've been on hundreds of television interviews, Benny Hinn, Morris Cerullo. I've preached with Benny Hinn. I preached with Morris Cerullo, did all 4 services at Hillsong. Give me a break. How in the world could a girl who was white trash, outcasted, rejected, dejected, even by many in the church, that God and only God can carve out a way to take in my pain and my suffering as a kid, and even the pain and suffering that I've had as an adult, and put me in places like that. Not to mention today I have a radio and television show every day, 6 days a week we're on the air. I'm a best-selling author. I was a dyslexic kid. Come on. I didn't read my first book till I was 21. Now I've written books that are being taught in universities all over the world. This is not possible with man, but this is possible with God. I'm a mother of 5 children, 7 grandchildren. Hello? Never in a million years did I think that my life would be this. And not to mention, I only work 20 hours a week. That's all I've worked for almost 19 years. And I give 90% of all of the profits go to charity, go to taking care of orphans, the widow, the sick. The profits go to helping kids get out of the sex trade. The profits go to building schools for these orphans and putting them through universities. We're building a university right now, a Christian Bible college, a university in India for orphans who are sons of parents who were martyred. Building whole new villages, all in the name of Jesus, not in the name of our foundation, not in the name of Danny Johnson, but in the name of Jesus, our receivers of the money, again, that we make in the business world. And in the business world, we help businesses grow. We help people pay off their debt. We help them to improve their relationships. We help them to get healthy and walk strongly with the Lord. The profits that we make from that go to providing for a staff, providing jobs for people, and the rest is going off to charity. So it's a privilege and honor to live a simple, frugal life and use my life as a pass-through that Jesus' name would be heard in the marketplace. We have CEOs who have given their life to Christ in June of tens of thousands of people that did not know Jesus. People that worshiped other gods that are now worshiping the one true God, have devoted their careers, their business, their family, who are now walking with him every day, praying for the sick, seeing people get healed. I'm telling you, it's a crazy, miraculous story, and all things are possible through him if you believe in him and you chase him and you walk with him.
Wow. How do I go to the next question from there? It all seems surreal, and I'm sure it's painful for you to see so many people give up too early. And so many Christians. So what is it that we're doing wrong? Is it the skills that we're lacking? Is it the faith? What is it? Why do so many people fail?
You know, it's such a good question. And you know, I've wanted to quit many times too. And what it shows is this: the Bible says that skill brings success. In the book of Psalms, it says that David, he was called right from the one that was shepherding the ewe lambs. And it says this, and it's so powerful. I think it's Psalm 70 or 78 verse 70. And it's powerful. And this is what it says. It says that David shepherded Israel with the integrity of his heart and the skillfulness of his hands. You see, we as a body of believers have been fed all kinds of different doctrines, and skill hasn't been any part of the reality. I've read the Bible cover to cover now going through 9 times. And that book is the best success book ever written. It shows us exactly how to succeed in business. It shows us the specific skills that we must have to rise up and compete head to head with our heathen competitors in the marketplace, but doing it with truth, doing it with justice, doing it with kindness, gentleness, everything of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit can give divine ideas that work and draw people unto him. And he says that if you hold up his name, he draws people unto himself. Most Christians are not known to be Christians at their jobs. Most Christians are not known to be Christians in the marketplace at all. It's only known if they show up to church on a Sunday. So there's a lot of skill that we're missing. And I know from my life, and I know through the hundreds of thousands of clients that I've coached or consulted for business and finance, is that whenever I hit a place, let's say in my marriage, I know, and if I'm hitting a wall, it's because I'm lacking a skill. I'm lacking some understanding. I'm lacking some wisdom. And that usually is the place where the enemy wants us to quit. That's usually the place where he's wanting us to go, forget it, it's too hard, it's not worth it. My life and your life is not your own. And we are supposed to be highly skilled individuals in our marriages, highly skilled in communication with our husbands, our wives, our children. We're supposed to be highly skilled with finances, highly skilled in our careers, whether we own a business or we work for someone else that does. The fact is, the vast majority of the body of Christ is not highly skilled. So therefore, the ones who don't walk with Jesus, they are highly skilled and they get the promotions, they get the bonuses, while the Christian is sitting back, discouraged, feeling like God doesn't like them, feeling like God doesn't want them to succeed, or that somehow they've missed it. But here's the facts. The Bible tells us clearly in the parable of the talents that the guy that had 5, the one that had 2, they skillfully went out and multiplied what was given to them. The one that was called a wicked, lazy servant did nothing with what was given to him. And so there's so much skill that is talked about in the Bible. And who did God have build the temple? Highly skilled craftsmen. Those that were not highly skilled were not picked for that beautiful historical task. So God is looking for us to invest into ourselves, to learn new skills, to grow. And as we do that, we climb and rise. He said that if we'll hold up his name, he'll exalt ourselves. He said if we'll humble ourselves, he will exalt us. Well, what?
All right. So yeah, I know, you know, it's an incredible teaching from Danny. Danny has taught a lot of people, by the way. She's not somebody, go look her up. Go look her up. She's taught a lot of wealthy people. And the reason why I like Danny Johnson, obviously, you know, I'm a Christian. I don't know what you guys believe, but you guys know that. Actually, the co-founders are Christians. So I'm not here to push religion on you. But what I do want you to understand is we listen to Jim Rohn. Even Jim Rohn talks about his reference to the Bible. He's like, I'm an amateur, right? And I think sometimes we forget the main things in life is your spiritual man, your spiritual womanhood. You have to get that right, and that is something that I noticed with people is that they want to do everything else, but their foundation is so messed up that they don't treat people right. They don't encourage others. And so that is why, you know, outside of the religious aspect, I appreciate Danny Johnson, because if you guys looked at what she was talking about, it's so incredible, man. She was, you know, her being homeless, her, man, being sexually abused, you know, all that stuff. Most people would have cast her out, you know, to be any kind of success. But she's very passionate, and you know, she's like if you go look her up, she does like seminars for people. She's kind of like, if you guys have heard like Dave Ramsey, you know, Dave Ramsey has done a lot of different things. Whether you're a fan or not, I don't listen to all of his stuff, but a lot of people know Dave Ramsey because he's very good with finances and stuff like that, giving you a plan. And you know, your foundation has to be right to get you to, number one, appreciate people. And that's the thing I appreciate about her. But, you know, her gratefulness, to each his own. I love her gratefulness for how she's grateful. And as you heard, she gives 90% of what she has because she has money. So she gives it all away, which is great. So, but one thing I did catch, if y'all didn't catch that, she said she worked 20 hours a week for the last 19 years. And you would think she would have worked a lot more, but 20 hours a week. And I was like, man, what are we doing if we working 40 hours a week? And she's accomplished all this, man. So I took a lot from that. But I just want to open it up for you guys, you know, just to comment on both videos. You know, either what you learned or glean from it is, you know, whatever you guys learn. But let me just make sure everybody's unmute. I think, let me unmute everybody.
I got a couple of things.
Yeah.
From the first one, from the very first step, how can I improve my product? Means how I present it. Following the system, basically, it's all in one. Moving on to the next one, be proactive, take action. Me and you spoke about the culture of Beaumont, and to me, it doesn't matter. Still take the action, be proactive, get out there, put it in their face. So what if they say no? So that's what I took from that one. Put first things first. That means prioritizing, making sure you put the most important things first. and everything like that, and synergize positive energy, positive people. Surround yourself with that. Sharpen the saw to me meant it goes back to the mindset. It goes to the brain. Sharpen the mindset. Sharpen the tools that you've been taught. Implement them. Whether you hear no's or not, just keep sharpening that blade. Figure out what it is you may be saying wrong, or whatever the case may be. Just keep sharpening that blade. And that was it for the first video. But from the second video, I took from that trusting God to guide your footsteps.
Yep.
Footsteps or path, whichever way you want to look at it. Listen to his words. Most people fail because they quit having faith. Don't lose faith. Always keep your faith. And the enemy wants you to lose. And I also took that into the culture of Beaumont because, like I said, it was crabs in a barrel. It's like they don't want you to get to the top, you know, and I kind of put them in the category of enemy, not as a physical threat, but as a me being above them type of threat. They don't want to see that. And that's what I applied to both videos for me.
It's a great application. Great application. Because, you know, as you said it, you know, you got to focus on really, you know, what he said, the first habit is being proactive, right? And man, that was a great application because, yeah, like you said, we had talked about this week, you know, and, you know, it's a quick shift of, you know what, if they say no, they say no.
Yeah.
But we don't know what could be in their heart, or maybe they looking for a way and maybe they never found it, and maybe nobody ever gave it to them. And you know, I'm gonna say something about that too, Cody. Like, you know, I used to have a different perspective on things, but I realized I can't judge a man's heart or a woman's heart. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, I'm just gonna say it, in different communities, but the Black community, I'm gonna just speak to we talk, because, you know, we talk about the Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. But a lot of times in the Black community, I feel like if we could be honest with ourselves, sometimes we would say, well, I never got those opportunities, or nobody really came to me. That's only for other people and other cultures and other things. And just to be honest, like, that's what, for us, we need to change that, right? So if we're gonna say, you know, we don't want to talk to them, then for us, we gotta look at it ourselves as like, man, let me talk to everybody. Let me talk, because I don't want to feel like I didn't give opportunity to people,
Right.
or I didn't teach them something that they needed to learn. You know what I mean? Because I kept it away from them, and they think, well, now you got an opportunity, and you can never say I never had a chance. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I wanted to. So that's what I got from what you were saying is,
Right.
you know, hey, either they want to, you know, in our communities or not, but it is what it is.
Right.
And again, that could apply to any culture, you know, Filipina, Miss Joy, that could apply to Hispanic, you know, whatever culture it is, we just have to be, I want to leave people without an excuse. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to withhold it and then I'll be the excuse. Well, why you didn't tell me?
Right.
You went and got rich on your own. And you ain't come back for your people, and you ain't come back to help your people. Nah,
Right.
if you're gonna mess up the message, if you're gonna disregard my message, that's okay.
Right. Right.
I gave you the chance. So I think we just have to, that's good that you said that, because different cultures, whatever culture it is, you know, it doesn't matter whatever race or culture, we just have to learn to talk to people and give and let them speak on their heart, right? Whatever's on their heart.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So Cody, you mentioned that a lot of people, you know, don't like to see other people's success and win because their lives are, you know, not up to par. How do you handle, you know, those type of people right now, and how do you want to fix your situation? How do you?
Well, to me, to be quite honest with you, I believe it's like I said, number one, the culture of Beaumont, but most people from this city has never moved out of the city. And so we know these people from grade schools and high schools. So it's a certain amount of jealousy and envy that goes along with it.
Yes.
And it's made me at some point get discouraged to even talk to them. And that's why I focus so much on getting my points up, to where that when I do find my new two IBOs, they only have bare minimum to do. But how I overcome it is because I realized that I'm the first person in Beaumont, Texas to do this. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to succeed because of my why, because of my daughter, because of my family. I want to have financial freedom. So at some point, I got to change my mindset and not care what you think about me or anything like that, because I'm a good person in and out. What I plan to do to change and fix it is just like JT said, just get out there and talk to them regardless.
Yeah.
Whether you tell me no or not, hey, fine. I'm going to chuckle in my head and I'm going to go on about my business. And that way you'll say, at the end of the day, you can't say I was the reason you didn't have success, whether you're already an IBO with me or I didn't give you that opportunity to join what I'm a part of right now. So that's the part of my mindset that I'm going to fix. And that's why I think it's the way that it is in there, because around Beaumont, I'm known as the big jock, the athlete, the guy that dated all the girls. And so it's a lot of jealousy and envy there and everything, and people just not wanting to see me do better than them. And I know it because I know these people personally. Beaumont is only so small. So it's just a matter of them not wanting to see me do better, or they might have a natural doubt that how can Cody Bluford be able to do all of these things, and I've never heard this opportunity before. So it's a shock to them as well. So I just have to ignore it, block it out, and just keep pushing, stay the course, stay in phase one, just talk to everybody, whether they say no or not. Like we say, some will, some won't, so what, some won't.
Yeah, and that's amazing, because I mean, exactly what you said, that, you know, people are also watching you, and, you know, it's hard because I grew up, I'm Puerto Rican, 15% African-American in my blood.
We all got mixtures.
I know we're all mixed.
I threw the black out. I threw the black because that's hot right now.
Yeah.
But we all got some kind of,
Yeah.
we all descendants. So anyway, yeah.
The culture that I grew up in was all Caucasian, and different. We all, like you. I grew up in a small town. I know everybody from kindergarten to high school, and I grew up as an ugly duckling. I feel like, because I was bullied a lot, and I took that bully, and I just dealt with it. So, and then leaving high school, I heard different things about, I thought you were this, good person, whatever, pretty. I'm like, pretty? Like, why was I bullied? But it got in my way also. But when I talk to people, they see me as, that's just Jessica, she's the yoga instructor. What does she know about business? And they, you present to them and they don't take it serious. I actually took that to heart, but I understand that no matter what, I'm going to, accomplish my mission, because God wants us to do. Right. And, you feel that when you talk to people, it's either a yes or no. I mean, like, no is not going to hurt you. So, but you're at least presenting people, communities that probably will never be presented to. So yeah, we both have to keep that faith of being positive and having, a sense of accomplishment that, we are going to accomplish what we're going after. So I just wanted to talk to Cody and ask him a question.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
No.
and we all got and that's something that we just have to get out of ourselves, right? As individuals, we have to be ready to not just think of ourselves. Imagine if I just said, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, if my friend, I was thankful. Y'all hear me say it sometimes, but I was thankful that my friend even gave me a chance. Because he could have there's prejudgment on both ends. We heard it yesterday. That's why I put it in the group earlier today about Jessica. There's prejudgment on both ends. There's people that you think, oh man, they ain't got no money, they did this, and I forget them, their mindset ain't right. And then there's prejudgment on people who got money, who wealthy. Right. You think,
Yes.
oh, they don't need ACN. No, they may love ACN. They may be like, man, I was looking for a platform where I can amass wealth with other people, because what I've done, not everybody can do. Right. So now I get a chance to help other people. You see what I'm saying? So it's different perspectives. You don't know what's on their heart. They could be, I've had people say that a lot of the time, like, man, I'll give you an example. Y'all heard my story. Well, my older brother, he went to prison, okay? Well, my older brother couldn't do what I did in insurance, right? So, I mean, that in a sense would be perfect for me to build something with my brother. Like, let me find something that I could build with him to help him, because he may wanted an opportunity. See, those are the things you got to think about. Like, I don't know what's on somebody's heart, and you don't know what they could be looking for. So I just want to give people that chance, like, I don't want to make it like I don't give them a chance, Right. So that's what we just have to look at it from both perspectives. But anybody else? I know we took up some time. I want to make sure others get the floor.
I want to say something.
Yes.
You're talking about the culture and all. I was just thinking while you're all talking. I was married to an African American, right? So my kids are like half Filipino, half African, and my because they were always talking about it. My grandkids, they said, "You are 1/4 of this." of Filipino, 1/4. And now I don't know, but anyway, I just want to say that. Because when my kids are growing up and they say, who are they, when I go to clinics, who's your mother? And I said, I'm their mother. They look at me like, I thought you were a babysitter. Yeah, I did all those when they were growing up. I'm so used to it. It's funny, but I was the victim, not because I'm African American, I'm black or whatever, but because what I am and I'm who with. I slap somebody because they talk about my husband real bad. Who would have thought I would slap somebody at work? I almost got fired. but that's beside the point. I just want to say.
Now you slapping people. Now you slapping now, Miss Joy, you slapping people in this business. Like, oh, you think you can't do this? And
I thought I was gonna get fired, but the manager said, "Oh, I think she got scared of me, so she didn't report."
I was scared of you too.
Hey, I'm past that. That was years ago. And on this speaker, on the first one, I kind of pick out seek first to understand and then be understood. That really worked for me. Belief-wise on my religion, which I was a Catholic. I'm not sure more, but I had gone so many challenges, and I did what. Oh, anyway, fixing everything. with the business I'm in, I really do need to understand everything, and I did. I did not understand it at first, but I'm learning it like little at a time, and then people probably understand me later or whatever. But that's my mission, to get them to understand what we are about and what I can offer them or what's in business wise. Now,
Yeah.
after 1 minute on the
Oh, that's
video, I actually met her. I listened to her on the
oh,
convention.
really?
Was in the, when you said Danny Johnson, I know her. I said, when I said, yep. And I kind of identified with her because she had a problem. I'm telling you guys that when I was, when my kids were growing up, I was like, we were like homeless or something. I'm to cry, but that's past. But
Yeah.
it really kind of bring everything. Me and my kids are very close because we went through a lot. Who kids do you know would say, when I tell them, Mom, when they tell them, guys, I don't have any Christmas present because I don't have the money. And they will, Mom, we don't need toys. Whew. What kids
Wow.
toys and what, but they, in their young age, they understood that. So what I do was buy a lot in the dollar store and I wrap them separately so they can open, they can open more than one. So, and even when my husband was laid off, when my first son was 3 months old, he was good. He was a good provider and he got a good job. We had a big house, but he got laid off. It was the economy then. His company closed. And so that did him really, really bad. He couldn't take that he couldn't provide. But that's what, when we started, it was, and I don't know, if I know what I know now, if I knew it then, we probably would have been, but I was very naive. I don't know anything. I was young.
Yeah.
But anyway, but we go from a 4-bedroom house, a new car, to a 1-bedroom apartment when he got laid off, and I was the only one working with $5 an hour. So it was really, really, that was a long.
And you know,
And my kids, oh, you would love my kids because they really are good people. I mean, no idea what I did or what my husband, what we did, but we have two, amazing kids.
And the thing I want to say about that, just to tie it in, again, you know, what Stephen Covey is talking about, you know, your story is so beautiful, and it may not seem like it, but it may not seem like it when you're in it, but you know what? You have a story to tell. That's the whole point, you know, like,
and she
story
said,
is so beautiful. And I want you to understand that, because that's the part of the story that you have to use as well when you're talking about your life and your devotion to what you're doing. It's because your story is very important to people. And that's what Danny Johnson, you know, outside of anything else, her story is very powerful, you know, like, and I just want you to really bask in that. You know?
Yeah, because I'm not really rich, but to me, I'm very wealthy. I have my kids.
There you go.
Faith now. I may not be you would call religious or something, but I love the Bible, which I used to before when my kids were growing, because I was mad. But now I'm cool.
Yeah. Amen. That's what I'm talking
Understand
about.
what happened. like Danny said, he got 2 voices, and I listened to one. She listened to the right one. But now I'm good.
And there's always 2 voices. There's always 2 voices, no matter what. So,
2 voices.
does anybody else have any other applications?
I know we got like 5 minutes, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not you. It's not you, Miss Joy. These
I
are
took up
things
the
that
time.
I wish we had more time, you know, but we
Yes.
don't. And these are things that we have to glean on to help, you know, get better as a person. But anybody got any applications? Just let me go over the applications one more time so everybody knows. Stephen Covey was talking about number 1 is to be proactive, right? Number 2, begin with the end in mind, right? Begin with the end in mind. How would you look at yourself over a casket? That's powerful, by the way. When he said that, I was like, whoa. What would you say about yourself if you looking at yourself over a casket? You know what I mean? That's crazy. Number 3, put first things first. Number 4, think win-win.
Yeah.
Number 5, seek first to
to
understand, then be understood. Number 6, synergize. And number 7, sharpening the saw. Sharpening the saw. So does anybody have any applications that they got from that? Anybody else? I just want to make sure I give everybody the chance.
What I got from it real quick, what really resonated with me was basically when he said, Stephen Covey said, focus on what I can control and not what I can't control. Like basically the serenity prayer.
Yeah.
And just for instance, I wasted too much time on something I can't, it's out of my hands. Like I lost my wallet earlier this week. I posted it for IDC. And I've been worried about this coming in, that. I have no control when that mailman is going to drop this off. I have an issue with Spectrum. I have no control when that's going to get done, but I've wasted all morning just fussing and just getting in a negative space. That's why if y'all check it out, I just posted some, what's my boy, Ray Lewis. And then what Ms. Johnson was talking about, because man, a lot of that stuff resonated with me. Mental illness, domestic violence, a lot of things that she talked about. You know, that's why I had to cut my camera off a few times. I'm not even gonna fake the phone. I didn't want to cry in front of y'all. I
did too. I put the camera off.
Joke around with y'all, but
hey, bro,
she said that while she was talking, though, it brought me right back to Stephen Covey, though, Covey, when he said, focus on what you control and what you can't control, let it go, because a lot of things that I think about that throws me off of my destiny of what I'm trying to get done that day, that happened 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
I just got to deal with it and keep it pushing. So it resonated with me. Real hard. I mean, I wrote down quite a few notes, but at the end of the day, that's what it really came back to for me, was focus on what I control, on what I can control, and don't worry about what I can't, so I can be productive. Because I haven't been productive because I was worried about stuff that I can't control.
Can't control, yeah.
I just wasted about 3 hours in the morning.
It's kind of hard not to.
It's hard. Man,
make you chuckle sometimes.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for being transparent and talking about it. And I know, Mr. Jason, you had something real quick. I know you're at work. But.
Yeah, I just want to touch base on what your cousin was talking about. I had to cut my camera. Excuse me. Hold on.
Take your time. I understand. Take your time.
Yeah.
I love your picture. Matter of fact, with you and your daughter.
Yeah.
She's my world. She's everything. She's the only one that's keeping me alive.
You can tell right from the picture.
Yep.
Beautiful.
From what you said, it hit home to me really hard, especially what Danny was talking about. I moved around a lot when I was a kid. My mom had 3 husbands. 2 of them beat the heck out of me constantly. I was sexually abused by a male babysitter, this and that. And I've been told all my life that I'll never amount to nothing. I'm a piece of crap. and I'm never gonna be a good dad or none of that crap. And it really hit home to me to a point where sorry, I have to take off the picture. I can't.
All right.
It's okay, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I have so much trouble in life right now. I try. Yeah, I'm in corporate America. I'm a mechanic, and I bust my butt every single day, 6 days a week. And if I could do 7, I would. But you know, I get tired of getting taken advantage of. I show what I'm worth, and people just take advantage of me and just look at me like I'm just a piece of crap. Excuse my language, but
Yeah.
that's why I try to get into this business and try to make it work. But the same people that treat me like crap all my life are still doing it.
Yeah.
Even my own family. They're pushing me aside. My uncle is helping me a little bit, you know, with financial when I need it, because of what's going on with unemployment with my wife and everything. But I just need help with this business. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Because the people I know, they don't give two craps about me. And, you know, I come off and I tell my why, and I even cry. You know, I'll admit it, I don't care. It's all about my daughter. I don't want her to grow up like me. That's the only reason I'm still with my wife, because I don't want her to have a broken home like I was. I went to 3 different homes and even lived with my grandmother, my mama's mom, because I was getting beat every day, and she was getting beat, and she was kidnapped. You know, I've been through a lot, but I'm still standing, and I wake up every day thinking, what can I do for my daughter? And I don't know. I guess all I'm trying to say to y'all is, if somebody's willing to help me more one-on-one, I'd be more appreciated. The Zooms are helping, yes, but like Danny says, I have a learning disability, and it's hard for me to retain the information a lot unless I'm hands-on. That's why I'm good at what I do as a mechanic, because I'm straight hands-on. Excuse me. That's all I want to say. I can't say anymore. I'm getting ready to cry again.
If you don't mind, man, if you don't mind, I'd like to say something to you, man.
Yes, sir.
I've went through some of the similar things you went through, and what I have to say about that. God sit high, but He looks very low, and you've been blessed. He put you in a way to be blessed with this ACN opportunity, and like I said before, you have all access to my number. JT's gonna give you my number, vice versa, and man, you can call me at any given time. It shows that you're a great man. You care about your daughter. You're at work. You're a working man. You're not just sitting around looking for handouts. You're doing everything you can possibly do in your power. And like Mark Thomas said, you have to. Don't worry about the things you can't control. Worry about the things you can control. And I promise you, you pray every day about your situation and keep doing what you're doing right now. And God's going to make a way for you to get the situation the way you want it to be, brother. Reach out to me at any time of day, night, doesn't matter. Reach out to me. You just want to vent, talk, whatever. It doesn't matter. Call me.
I appreciate that, homie. I really do. And yes, I used to go to church when my grandfather was alive. Every Sunday, we were Methodist. We went downtown Houston, St. Paul's. I was acolyte, usher. I did it all. You know, I was even in the choir. But after he passed, excuse me, in 4 years, on the same day my dad passed, 4 years after that, it was my turn, and I was ready. But my wife said, guess what? I'm pregnant. I said, huh? She goes, yeah, we've been trying for like 5 years. And I was giving up. I was ready to, you know, exit the world and go be with my dad, my grandfather, and everybody else. But my daughter's here. And she was my
Yeah.
birthday present because she was 9 days after my birthday, and it just made everything better for me.
Wow.
And I struggled, yes, and I still am always, but I ain't gonna give up because of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do need to play more. I do sometimes, but I do.
And that's
Beat
all
myself.
good, Jason. You know, that's
I
all
beat myself
good,
up a
man.
lot.
Like, and you know, that's all good, Jason. Like we all fall short. We all got stuff going on that we need to get better. And so don't feel like don't beat yourself up. Don't you know, we all you know, and I'm thankful that you were transparent with us. But I want, you know, and I'm gonna send you Cody and Lamar's number as well, because I want y'all to connect. But to and you know, to bring this to what I wanted to say, and I'm glad you said it. It was definitely God for you to speak and everybody else to speak, to be honest with you. I'm gonna tell y'all, that was the feeling. Some of y'all who are in the inner circle, that's the feeling I felt yesterday. Do y'all understand what I'm like? That's why I got frustrated, because we say we can't talk to people, and this kind of stuff is going on. And ACN, it's not about services. It's about this community. I said it yesterday. Y'all heard me say it. I said it's about some people just getting just because they need a community, man. Like people are struggling. So I want us to really remember this. You know, I'm grateful for you, Lamar, Sharon, Cody, Jason, you know, just Joy, Jessica, all of y'all. You know, this is a community that fuels me to keep going. So I want us to really get off of this call, just like, man, it's bigger than just AT&T. It's bigger than AT&T, man. Like that ain't even, that's the byproduct. So I want us to really feel that way, you know, and when we talk to people and encourage people, and that's really my take on it. And Jason, don't feel bad because I done cried on this call. y'all see me when I cry. So, but that's the feeling that you get when you want to continue to help people and you want to serve. So, Jason, I'll be praying for you, and that's why I'm here. I know we need to get with you about, you know, the hands-on stuff. So I'm gonna do that. That's my commitment. But I'm gonna give you Mr. Cody and Lamar's number as well. So I'm gonna exchange it so y'all can have it anyway. So yeah, but I know we went a little longer today, but it was needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
Needed to go long. It was needed to go longer. And you know, I'm very grateful. I'm a post it. Let me get this video together. But again, I'm grateful for y'all, man. Y'all know that, and I'm just appreciative of this opportunity that we get a chance to do this. And again, invite people on. You know, like they don't have to be in ACN, by the way. Yeah, they don't have to be. They can just, maybe they want to grow. You know, so invite them on. You know, whatever the case may be. So. With that being said, I don't want to cut anybody short. If anybody got something really quick, because I know we are already over time, but I don't want to be the person just with the last word. It's whoever, if you do got something quick, just let me know. If not.
I just want to say you have two.
I think Manny.
Manny, it's okay. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, I was going to say you have two voices. Remember to listen to the right voice.
Yes. Listen to the right one.
Go ahead, Ms. Manny.
I just wanted to say really quick, I appreciate these calls that you have for us. I was a little jealous because I don't have any African-American in me. but I'm blessed enough to be around plenty of you guys, you know, to sow into our lives. So to everybody here, you know, also Mr. Thomas, he extends his mornings to us on a prayer call. So, you know, people like, you know, I think it's Jason or Cody or whoever wants to get on. I do encourage you guys to get on that, because that prayer call helps me. I've been on it since he started it. It helps me like every day. You know, so like the stresses that you might be facing later on, some of the topics he talks about prepares us, so to speak, for those things. So I really appreciate everybody here. I've got the lessons are really great, and it's just a great thing to, you know, to listen to people and you know, help them in their journey. You know, not necessarily in business all the time, but you know, their journey in their faith, or you know, with God and everything. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Yeah, and you know that we got to be a community, guys. So that's why we're here. You know, whatever you need, just, you know, focus on the community. Let's help each other. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna close it out because I want to respect everybody's time. But I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for, you know, spending some time together in the community and working with each other. And again, I'm gonna be exchanging, you know, numbers. But again, if you guys need me, I'll be here. And then other than that, hey, go back, go over the readings. Remember, be proactive, learn, keep continuing to learn, and that's what this is about. You know, we're not perfect, but as we strive, we wanna get better. So, so yeah. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all's day. I'll post this in a little bit, but again, go back, read over it, and again, we'll pick it up next week. So, all right, everybody. Enjoy y'all's day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.